What's up all? It's Kurt here. In this video, I'm going to share the story of how I was able to quit my job at 31 years old, transforming from a cubicle-dwelling engineer, not thrilled with where my life was going, to a financially free real estate investor, brimming with optimism. I accomplished that goal within 2 years of setting my sights on it, and my life has been on the up ever since by every measure. I want to share this story with you to inform and inspire you if you are questioning whether a 9-to-5 can offer you the freedom, time, money, or purpose that you crave. If that's you, you are not going to want to miss this video. This and my future content will be directed towards helping you achieve the life that you want, not the one that you have or are afraid you will have to settle for. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it was easy, but after a certain point it felt like something that I had to do. That feeling of necessity drove me through points of difficulty and self-doubt where I felt as though I was moving too slowly and lots was going wrong. What I will say, however, is that this process is repeatable. You can do it too. With the right mindset, plus certain principles and actions applied prudently over time, results will follow. Depending on your level of determination, your willingness to learn and grow, your openness to adopting new productive mindsets, your personal journey to financial freedom may take more or less time than mine did, and that's okay. What matters is that you start down that journey and keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you get results. If financial independence and choosing how and where to focus your energy is something that you find appealing, I can confirm that it's pretty rad if you're somehow stuck on the fence. What helped me the most along this journey isn't the what or the how, although those are important, but rather the why. If you have a strong enough reason why, the rest will fall into place, as it will drive your actions. You'll have to come up with your own reason why, but I'll share mine. Chances are that aspects of it will resonate with you, and before going deeper, I may as well share that. When young, I had lofty expectations for what my life was going to look like. I watched shows like The Apprentice, I admired people who had succeeded at business, living big lives, and I wanted the same. As time went on, however, realizing that kind of major success seemed like an increasingly remote possibility. The path that I knew was the one laid out by my family. Work hard in school, get good grades, get some kind of graduate degree, and build a career as a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or whatever. I kept going down that path, getting a bio degree, thinking that I wanted to be a doctor, then shifting to engineering due to a growing passion for cars, making them faster and racing them. I eventually got my BS in engineering, then a master's in engineering, and worked as an engineer in the auto industry. In hindsight, those were never really the things that I wanted, but they were ways to make a living that were tangential to my interests. I craved the freedom to direct my time and work on things that interest me. That's possible as an employee, but it's not the default, and it certainly wasn't the case for me, which I'm now thankful for, because had I been content, I'd probably still be there. The gap between my reality and the dreams that I had kind of let go of, but not really, created internal conflict. Although there were compounding factors, that was the core of what drove me to seek a way out. A major holdup was the false idea that big success comes to those with big, innovative ideas. I now know that that's complete BS, and thank goodness. I'd come up with potentially big ideas all the time. Most of the time I'd Google the idea, see that it had already been thought of or done in some capacity, and I'd drop it. So stupid in hindsight. Or the ideas that did seem genuinely fresh, I wasn't really sure how to execute on. Because, well, of course I didn't know how to execute. I had written off anything that had been even remotely attempted, and therefore never tried anything to build experience. So yeah, I failed before I ever really started, because I wanted to do something big without ever having done something small. Nobody goes to the gym for the first time, loads up the bar with plates, and triumphantly hoists it into the air, drawing cheers and adulation. No, they start small and work their way up. Same with business. Most really successful people have evolved to where they are, with some smaller, less scalable, or completely failed businesses in their past. Seems like the key is to take action and start something. It might suck, but there will be lessons learned that you can apply to subsequent endeavors, and over time, start to become somebody who knows how to make things happen. Overcoming this mindset hurdle was a process that I understand better in hindsight. But basically, I was so dissatisfied with where I was that I was prepared to jump into any seemingly viable life raft. Being a naturally analytical engineer type, the viable part was very important, and I wanted something that not only felt right, but also looked good on a spreadsheet. When investing in real estate came into my mind, through a very likely unique to me sequence of thoughts, I recognized the potential quickly. Contrasting my previous thoughts on the necessity to innovate, real estate is one of the oldest businesses around. Who knows, maybe even predates prostitution. It's old, it's simple, at least in principle, but even so, people are still getting rich from real estate, despite it having been around for a minute. A perk of doing something that's been done millions of times over, like real estate, is that there are going to be a lot of success stories and wisdom to be derived from them. Failures too, and wisdom to be derived from those. You can start to observe trends and learn that if I do A, B, and C, I can get X, Y, and Z. Study which actions produce the results that you desire and do them. Simple enough, and it made sense on a spreadsheet. I developed a theory that so far seems to be well supported anecdotally, that you can be in the top 10% in any pursuit by learning what the basics are and then consistently not screwing them up. This realization meant that I could take something that's been done many times over with the potential to be a high performer so long as I didn't drop the ball on the basic things that everybody in the industry knows that they should be doing. I'm not going to go into depth on how in this video, but I will in future videos, so subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to learn how to find, analyze, fund, and profit off of deals. Anyway, I bagged 10 units my first year, 7 more the next, while continuing to do some extensive rehabs on the properties that I picked up in year 1. So yeah, I started to invest in real estate. Now I'm 3 years in and have 27 units. I scaled from single family houses to small multifamily, like 2 to 4 units, and now have a 10-unit apartment building that I'm fixing up. By the end of year 2, I had enough units fixed up and rented out for my real estate cash flow to match the take-home pay from my job. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. I'll confess, I was pretty anxious doing that, but damn did it feel good. I knew that it was going to be an important milestone in my life, so I actually recorded it, and here's a snippet. Actually, before we get into that, I have something that I need to say, and that is that I'm resigning not due to any specific thing with the company or current or past, but because there's another opportunity that I've been kind of working on the side, and it's matured to a level where I can pursue that full time, so that's my intent. My life of guilt-free unemployment is pretty cool. I've been traveling a decent amount, I got my private pilot license, and I've been focusing heavily on self-improvement. I'm stronger and healthier than ever before, work out every day, get better sleep, drink less, dropped caffeine, and my focus and motivation is on the rise. My car hobby has also been getting more attention, and I'm getting married soon. Life is good. The future looks bright, and my sense of well-being is strong. A lot of this stems from my ability to direct how I use my time. If I just wanted to go into maintenance mode, not focusing on growth, I could manage my current portfolio in a few hours a week on average. Once I rehab a property and get it set up nicely with good tenants, it doesn't take a lot of residual effort to keep things going. With that said, I'm not just sitting back. I keep pushing, although my motives now are different. Before I wanted to escape something that wasn't a good fit for me. Now what I have is genuinely good. I'm not trying to escape anything, but rather to build upon and enhance. I derive a lot of satisfaction from achievement, and after clocking a big W on the financial independence front, after 2 years of working full-time and grinding on the side, the connection between today's work and tomorrow's achievement became more obvious. Because of that, the mental barriers to putting in the work are reduced. It's not something that I have to force myself to do. Putting in the work just for the sake of it is becoming satisfying on its own, because I know how that kind of sustained action can compound over time, and that's important because bigger goals tend to have longer time horizons. With bigger goals, you could be putting in work every day, without seeing your life improve in any material way. Could be discouraging if you don't enjoy your work or recognize how it fits in with the big picture. It's that enjoyment and context that helps you keep pushing for weeks, months, or years that it may take for those daily actions to compound and result in your life being totally unrecognizable in a good way. It's also just fun to find places with potential, fix them up, and rent them out to good people. Genuinely enjoy that. It requires a lot of creative problem solving and thinking on your feet, which I enjoy quite a bit. My job used to be my foundation. It represented a set of skills that I had that were of value to others. As such, I could trade my time for money to meet my needs. My real estate portfolio is my new foundation, but it acts a significant paradigm shift that I'm no longer trading my time for money. It's a higher leverage activity. On top of the skills that I had before, which I still use, I have learned how to acquire and develop assets that generate income without my time being a direct input. This is crucial for scaling because the bottlenecks to scaling are reduced with higher leverage activities. This begs the question, is real estate the highest leverage activity? Well, to be honest, probably not. Most billionaires own real estate, but have accrued most of their wealth through business interests. Real estate is likely something that I'll always do, but from the beginning, I recognized it as a mechanism for me to buy some breathing room. Real estate, done right, can yield an investor both significant wealth, freedom of time, and a new set of experiences, skills, and insights that can be applied to future endeavors. If I'm going to launch a business in the future, it'd be unreasonable to assume that having those to build off of wouldn't improve my odds and magnitude of success. Real estate is something that I could overlap with my job, and a business is something that I could overlap with real estate, but with even greater synergies. What's next? I'm going to keep growing my real estate portfolio because I'm embarking on the exciting portion of the growth curve where things rapidly start to inflect upward. I also have the goal of living off of 20% of my net cash flow and reinvesting the rest. I should hit that threshold next year. Even though I'm currently achieving net cash flow of more than double what I took home as an engineer, I've kept my expenses more or less fixed. I'm going to maintain that until 20% of my income exceeds what I'm living off of now. That'll mean that I'll be reinvesting over $16,000 per month, an amount that's sure to quickly grow because I'll be reinvesting 16 bands per month. I'm also going to be making videos of my journey with lessons learned, general knowledge, actionable advice, and other fun stuff that I happen to be doing. Even if nobody watches this, I'm going to keep making more videos. It'll be one of those things that potentially yields me nothing today, tomorrow, or even in the first few years or more. That's okay. If it helps educate or motivate one person, it'll be worth it for the quality of life improvements that that person will have earned through educating themselves here and taking action. I'm also developing a lot of new skills by creating this content. I'm not comfortable in front of cameras if you haven't noticed, but I believe it'll benefit me long term as well, hopefully opening doors and exposing me to new opportunities. And to that end, I would be grateful if you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video gets served to more people. Also, if you leave a comment with any questions, feedback, or suggestions for future videos, I promise I will give you a reply at least within the first few weeks of this video going up, and potentially beyond. Now, should you embark on your own journey towards financial independence? Well, I think that deep down you probably know the answer to that. If you genuinely enjoy your job, it's providing you with what you want out of life, both monetarily and otherwise, great. Maybe you don't need this the way some others amongst us might. If you enjoy your job, but you're tight on funds or worried about how you're going to retire eventually, a blended approach may be for you. Lots of people invest in real estate without having the intention of leaving their job. I can provide value to you as well. You can do both, and it doesn't take many properties to make an extra $1,000 or few per month. If you start early, those properties will be paid off by the time you retire, and you'll be cash flowing much more. Now, for the rest of you who don't like your jobs, feel dirty saying things like, "my boss," or otherwise want to achieve a combination of freedom or time and wealth that regular jobs don't provide, it's time to start educating yourself. My channel is going to become a great resource for that, but is sparse on content now since I'm just getting started. I'd hate for my video cadence to slow you down, so please check out some of these sources that helped me early on, and they're still valuable. Bigger Pockets, Chandler David Smith, Ben Malla, Meet Kevin, they're all YouTube channels, some have for more stuff off YouTube as well, that are great. Books and audiobooks are a great resource as well. I have an Audible subscription, and I've listed some of my favorite real estate books down in the description of this video. Otherwise, just start looking at different markets around you. See where you can invest that's not a total war zone, where you can rent homes for a lot relative to what they cost. For a very basic market analysis, you can just look at for sale listings on Zillow and compare the list prices to the Zillow rent estimates. Spend an hour or so doing this all around you and make note of the trends that you see. And that obviously won't make you any money right away, but it's the first step that over time will compound with sustained action to make you lots of money in the future. Anyway, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.